2 presentations, and the first one is with Bonnie Clayton. And
Yay, Bonnie! I brought my posse with me.
I'm going to read you should have a handout from Bonnie, and I'm going to read a short introduction, and we'll hear from Bonnie. Bonnie Clayton, also known as your web chick, is an award-winning administrative consultant specializing in web design and social media, a tech geek with a creative streak. She helps small business owners and entrepreneurs establish and maintain their online presence. She is committed to serving them according to their needs, whether that is giving them a fish or teaching them to fish. Bonnie shares her knowledge through web design, one-on-one social media coaching, and by appearing at events like the Powerful You Grow Tour. She feels her greatest success is in helping others to learn and succeed. Having lived all over the East Coast and abroad, Bonnie has a special appreciation for a nice glass of wine and a delicious piece of fine supper. I welcome Bonnie Clayton.
Yay, Bonnie. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
But I'm not yelling.
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to start off with the G in GROW is I am so grateful to be here. This is a huge opportunity for me. This is the biggest crowd that I've ever spoken to, so I'm really, really excited. And I also want to start off with answering one of the biggest questions that I get asked. Why do I need social media? Well, I always answer the same way. Well, there's 255 million people on LinkedIn. There are 550 users of Twitter, and Facebook has over 1 billion users, and all of them continue to grow daily. So if you could reach 1% of the users on Facebook, you would be reaching 10 million people. Do you want a piece of that?
Yeah.
Now, are you going to reach 10 million people on Facebook? Not likely. But I can guarantee you that you're not going to reach Facebook users if you're not on Facebook. 2 things that I want you to keep in mind as I go through these seeds that you want to sow for social media. The first is that it's not just for attracting new clients. It is also for helping you retain existing clients. And I'm sure you all know the old business adage about it costs more to get 1 new client than it does to retain 5 existing ones. Mm-hmm. And the same can be said about social media. It costs you the same amount in time and effort to get 1 new client than it does for you to retain 5 existing ones. The other thing that I want you to keep in mind about social media is it is not a magic potion. It's not going to work overnight or in a week. Probably not in a month. And I think the bamboo, I really resonated with a lot of the stuff that Sue said. The bamboo is a perfect example. You know, I've had clients come to me and go, man, you know, I did that social media thing. I did it for like 3 weeks. I didn't get 1 new customer. Okay? 3 weeks is not enough. It is not enough of an investment of the time to determine if it is something that's going to work for you. Sometimes it takes months for your Facebook page or your Twitter account to really take off. And you have to do it consistently and over time. Like a garden, you sow the seeds, you water, you tend, you nurture, and eventually you reap. You don't plant the seed and the next morning, hey, you've got a stalk this high. Doesn't happen like that in social media. So most of the seeds that I'm about to give you use Facebook terminology because that's the biggest player out there is Facebook. But the concepts that I'm going to give you really kind of translate to any social media channel. I did provide you with a easy peasy note sheet there. So if you want to take notes, seed number 1 is going to be honor the 80-20 guideline. A lot of people like to call this a rule, but that sounds so rigid to me. So I like to call it the guideline. So what is the guideline? The guideline is you should only be posting promotional content 20% of the time. So if you're posting daily, which you should be on Facebook, You're only posting promotional stuff once or twice a week. What? Once or twice a week. The other 80% of the time, you need to provide value-rich content. What is value-rich content? Making someone laugh is valuable. They're going to remember that. Educating someone is valuable. Providing them with information that is valuable. Making them think, inspiring them. These are all valuable things. And you can get this from all across the web. It doesn't have to be original content. But do give credit where credit is due. Don't post something as your own when it's not. Seed number 2, post regularly, consistently, and at the right time. When you think about it, social networking is networking. You wouldn't show up to Powerful You meetings once or twice a year and expect to get optimal results. By the same token, you wouldn't show up in social media once or twice a month and expect to get optimal results, or even once or twice a week. So a good rule of thumb is if you're blogging, 1 to 3 times a week. Facebook, daily, but no more than 3 times a day. Twitter, 3 to 5 times a day. And if you're on LinkedIn, once or twice a week is good, because that's a little bit different than the others. Posting any old time doesn't work. You need to take stock of when you see your most engagement. If you see a lot of engagement at 8 o'clock on Monday mornings, but you get nothing at 9 o'clock on Tuesday nights, then don't post at 9 o'clock on Tuesday nights. So you have to kind of, Facebook is great and provides you with actual statistics, but on Twitter and the other outlets, you kind of have to experiment and take stock. Seed number 3, you need to have a social media plan. Sitting in front of your computer going, I have no idea what to post, doesn't work. And it doesn't have to be month at a glance. If you have a weekly social media plan, you know on Mondays, I post a motivational quote. On Tuesdays, I post next week's sales. On Wednesdays, on Thursdays, etc. Then you're not going to be sitting in front of that screen going, yeah, I don't know. Because you know it's Monday, it's motivational. Learn to schedule your posts and get in the habit of doing so. Feeling like you're shackled to your computer in order to care for your social media presence doesn't work. There are a multitude of tools out there. The ones I like are Vertical Response, Hootsuite, and Buffer. But when you're talking about Facebook, always use their built-in scheduler. It gives you a little bit more credit with EdgeRank, which determines the probability of your posts being shown in other people's news feeds. Seed number 4, participate and monitor. So you've got your social media plan, and you're in the habit of posting, scheduling your posts, but you can't just have the attitude, I built it, they'll come. You've got to sign into your channels daily, check and see, did I get any new likes, any new messages, any new comments? Because building online relationships works the same as building real-life relationships. You have to establish a two-way communication by checking in on your social media channels, seeing if you've had any engagement, re-engaging with those people. You are building that two-way communication. Adding social media to your marketing campaigns can make a huge difference in your business, but it has to be strategic and deliberate. You don't just put it out there. Like with going back to the seed again, you don't just plop it in the ground and forget about it. You have to make sure that it has water and sunshine, and you have to prune it and tend it, and the social media is the same way. Seed number 5, get emotional. And this goes back again to what Sue was saying about being vulnerable. This is how you build a community. They see your brand as a person. It makes your brand memorable when you speak to the hearts and minds of your target audience. When you give your customers the emotional benefits of feeling like they're part of a community, you're able to tap into their joy and sometimes even their fear. My buddy Nicole DeFeo likes to say, show them the pain. When you show them the pain, when you get emotional with them, you know, your pain is, what's your pain right now, Karen?
Getting advertisers for my magazine.
Okay, getting advertisers for your magazine. So somebody might come along that has a brand new networking group. Karen's pain is she needs to meet new people so she can get new advertisers. I can relieve your pain by getting you involved in this networking group. So you show them the pain, you give them the relief, now you have an emotional connection with them. So to sum up, you need to connect with happy existing customers on social networks and utilize them as a gateway to others like them. Give them little bits of information that are valuable to them. Remember, make them laugh, make them think, and make them learn. Even if it's not directly related to your product or service. Shoot for real conversations, ask and answer questions, give and receive advice, and focus on the long-term outcome. Just as gardens are grown over time with consistent nurturing, your social media presence will be built over time with consistent engagement because it is a marathon and not a sprint.
Awesome.